Guys, Zuko back with another Shadowlands video. Yes, you read that title right. It is coming. Patch 9.2 is coming. I'm so excited. Go get excited, guys. This is going to be awesome. We're going to look at a bunch of different news articles today. I've got a couple things that I want to talk about. Number one, we're obviously going to talk about the release date. I'm going to get to that in a second, but oh my gosh. Get your coffee, get excited, and let's get into this. Right before we do, I want you all to tell me what you think of this new microphone. I do have a new microphone, and it actually was one that was just kind of laying around the house, and I just hadn't been able to sort of set it up yet. So we are going to try this new microphone. Let me know how you think it sounds, if you think it sounds better. I think it's way better, but just please let me know in the comments below what you think about the microphone. Without further ado, get your coffee. Oh my gosh, that's so hot. Okay. Sit down, get your coffee, get excited. Get excited. This is going to be so good. Okay, let's look at it. Shadowlands, patch 9.2, Eternity's End, release on February 22nd in North America, February 23rd in EU. Blizzard has announced that patch 9.2, Eternity's End, will release on February 22nd and 23rd. Raid release schedule, we'll get to that in a second. Patch features, lots of features, right? So here we go. We're going to have Zereth Mortis, new zone. New progression system, Cypher the first ones. Mostly for you outdoors, people who want to like run around the zone. There isn't really huge benefits to doing this in terms of Mythic Plus or rating. Really, there isn't much at all. Even the rep grind stuff has kind of been taken out of the Cypher the first ones, okay? 11 boss raids, Sepulchre the first ones. New Mythic Plus season with encrypted affix, right? New Torghast Wing, Jailer's Gauntlet. I actually haven't even looked at this yet. It's just basically a boss rush thing, so you don't have to do trash anymore. You can just run in and do a boss rush in the Torghast if you want to. Return of class tier sets. Yes. Equip double legendaries. Yes. Solo shuffle. Really new, really good PvP thing. A solo queue for PvP is possible now. People are very excited about this. Was talking to I just was listening to a couple of the streamers who do PvP stuff. They're so excited about this. New pets, new mounts, new toys, new transmog, new secrets, new sub-profession, perform synthesis. I have no idea what that might have to do with the creation catalyst, I think. So anyway, tons of class changes coming, and we're not going to get into all the details on that. I just want to announce patch 9.2 is coming in 2 weeks, guys. It's coming in 2 weeks. Let's look at the calendar really quick. 22nd is here, right? Not even 2 weeks. 1, 2, last 2 days, right? So it's 12 days away. Holy crap, it's 12 days away. It's insane. Get excited. We kind of knew this was coming, right? That it was probably coming at the end of February. That was everybody's guess. But it's in 12 days. So, like, what are some things you should think about doing in the next 12 days, okay? First of all, you should go and get 80 renown on whichever covenant you want to start out patch 9.2 in. Getting renown will be easier in 9.2 as well. Everything that you do in Zereth Mortis, every world quest, every story quest that you do, they have a chance of giving you. The story quests are guaranteed to give you renown. So if you are a little bit behind on your renown, like you're like level 60 or like 55 out of 80, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Once you get into the Zereth Mortis story and start doing it, you'll have time to get your renown built up before you even get to double legendaries, okay? So don't worry about that too much. But the biggest thing you should do if you want to do stuff right now in the game in the next 12 days, you should probably just go and farm some renown. That's the best thing you could possibly do. If you have like 0 renown with a covenant that you're hoping to get into in 9.2, then go and buy the plus 40 renown that you can get from in Oribos. The flight, you know where the flight master is in Oribos? There's a little dude standing right next to the flight master. If you talk to him, you can buy a little potion. It costs 500 gold, and it gives you 40 renowned with a brand new covenant if you don't have any renown yet. So start there, and then start farming your way to the rest of the renown that you want to get to if you want to have it ready to go for patch 9.2. But you don't have to. The bottom line is that you can essentially walk into 9.2 with like 55 or 60 renown in a covenant, and you'll be able to get the rest of the way there before the double legendaries and tier sets really start coming online. So don't worry about it. Okay? February 22nd, 12 days. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. What's the next thing? Okay. Shadowlands Season 2 is ending, And Season 3 has a start date. PvP Mythic Plus seasons are ending soon. Shadowlands Season 2 PvP season will be ending on February 21st and the 22nd in the EU at 10 p.m., while Season 2 for Mythic Plus ends on February 22nd and 23rd on the maintenance time, so in the morning. Season 3 will begin 1 week later, so that's important to understand. Let's look at this. It's down here. Greetings, champions. The end of Shadowlands Season 2 is around the corner. Here's what to expect. The current season for Shadowlands PvP will end at 10 p.m. The night before the maintenance in each region. With the season end, it will no longer be possible to earn PvP seasonal rewards, titles, or Shadowlands Season 2 rankings. Now, Mythic Plus is a little different. The current season of Mythic Plus content will end with the start of the regional maintenance, so that's the Tuesday in the morning of the 22nd. Mythic Plus will end. When the season ends, ratings that qualify for the top 0.1%, that's the Tormented Hero, they'll get their achievements. Now, for 1 week following the end of the season, there will be an off season. So from February 22nd to March 1st, this is the off season. When the off season ends, Shadowlands Season 3 will begin on the week of March 1st. But in the off season, players can still queue for rated PvP and earn appropriate rewards, but the PvP leaderboards will be locked. Mythic Plus, you can still go into Mythic Plus dungeons in that off-season week between February 22nd and March 1st. You can still earn Season 2 affixes, rewards. There'll still be the Season 2 Tormented affixes, yada, yada, yada. So you have 1 week in between the end of Season 2 and the beginning of Season 3 for Mythic Plus. You have 1 week there where you could still earn rewards. And rating. For Mythic Plus, you can still earn rating as well. So there you go, guys. That's Mythic Plus and PvP. They're ending on the 21st. They start up again March 1st. So you can start right away. This is what's really, really cool about this. March 1st is like, I mean, the patch releases on the 22nd. So you're going to spend the first week just doing story stuff. Just do story stuff. And then once the first week ends, the start of March 1st, you could already get a tier set bonus. You could get one of your tier set pieces if you're lucky in the Great Vault, right? If you did some Mythic Plus. Oh, no, sorry. It doesn't work that way. You only get Season 2 rewards. I'm wrong. So starting March 1st, you can't get any gear, but starting right away, you can just get into the PvP, get into the new Mythic Plus season, get into the encrypted affix and check it out. The first week will be dedicated to just story stuff, but right after that, you can jump into Mythic Plus. Very cool. Moving forward, Sepulchre of the First One's raid release schedule and preview for 9.2, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Pursue Zolval's forces into the Sepulchre of the First Ones and prepare for the most epic Shadowlands raid yet, coming with the start of Season 3. The Jailer has breached the Sepulchre, the mysterious heart of the Shadowlands. Should he control its primordial power, he will reshape the cosmos with death at the fore. As Zolval prepares to dominate reality, champions of Azeroth must charge forth to stop him. Will their resolve outmatch his? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Raid bosses, there's 11 of them. Difficulties, all the difficulties, of course, you have to be max level. They're suggesting you be minimum eye level of 220 for the raid finder stuff, so you have to be even better. I would say that going into like heroic, you want to be around 250 eye level. That'd be my guess. Here's the raid lock schedule, raid unlock schedule. Normal and heroic difficulties are available on March 1st. That's 1 week after the patch goes down. The patch is coming down on the 22nd of February. 1 week later is March 1st. That's when you can do normal and heroic difficulties, okay? Note that the last 3 bosses, the Lords of Dread, Ragalong, and the Drailer, will not be available in that first week. So you can do the first 8 bosses up to Andy, right? Anduin's the 8th boss. 8th boss. The 9th, 10th, and 11th boss are not available. March 8th, so 1 week later, this is 2 weeks into the patch. The remaining 3 bosses will unlock for normal and heroic. All bosses are available for mythic. Raid Finder Week 1, Ephemeral Planes, blah, 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 unlocked. So 2 weeks into the new patch. February 22nd, it comes down. March 1st, you can do the first 8 bosses. March 8th, 2 weeks in, you can do all of the bosses on all difficulties, except for Raid Finder. Raid Finder only gets the first 3, but nobody really cares about that, right? Normal, heroic, and mythic, 3 weeks in. 2 weeks in, right? February 22nd, 1 week later is March 1st. 1 week later is March 8th. 2 weeks into the patch, you can do all the raid bosses on all the difficulties that are relevant. Okay? Everybody understand that? March 22nd, Raid Finder Wing 2. April 5th, Raid Finder Ring 3. Blah, blah, blah. Those are all the Raid Finders that get unlocked. But this is the big date here, guys. March 8th is when you can do all the bosses in the raid. Now, you'll want to get in there on March 1st. If you're looking to get tier set gear, you need to get in there right away. That's 1 week after it launches is March 1st. You want to jump in on normal and heroic. If you can get both of those done, your chances of getting tier set gear is like amazing. And then at the end of March 1st, on the Tuesday reset of March 8th, you might be able to get another piece of gear. So like, you might actually be able to have 3 pieces of tier set gear by the time you're running this. If you're going for Mythic, right? For example, so all the World First guys are probably going to be jumping on this. So we'll have to see. I mean, nobody's going to have really high eye level gear, like higher than the stuff that's dropping out of the raid. So the ability to trade gear is probably like not even possible. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. But that's really fast, guys. This is so fast. The patch is dropping on the 22nd. 2 weeks later, you can do the entire raid. That's super cool. Like, very, very good stuff there. And it shows off all the different bosses. If you guys haven't seen the bosses yet, they're awesome. There's Skolex the Worm. Here's Zymox. The Zymox fight is amazing. The, oh, that's that one. DeSausage is cool. That's this one here. She's a really cool fight. I haven't quite done it myself, but I've seen it. Prototype Pantheon's cool. That's like a really good cleave fight for everybody. Lihuvim. I haven't seen the Lihuvim fight at all. Oh, no, I have, actually. That fight is where you drop off all the orbs and stuff. It's a really interesting fight. You're going to have to split your party into like 2 groups to go handle a couple different parts. Here, of course, is Halandris. I did a little bit of this the other day on Mythic, actually. I tried this out on Mythic. Very cool fight. I like that fight a lot, actually. And then there's Andy, of course. And nobody has seen the Lords of Dread. Nobody has seen Ragallon. Nobody has seen the Jailer. We haven't seen those fights, so we're going to get to all witness them together. But the Anduin fight is also incredibly, incredibly fun. So there you go, guys. That's the raid. That's what's coming up. And there's a bunch of different mounts and achievements that you can get. Of course, moving forward, let's look at reputation stuff. This is what most people are really worried about, right? How soon can we get... Oh, knocked it all over. How soon can we get this stuff done? How soon can we get double legendaries? Zuko, when are we going to get double legendaries? When is all that happening? Well, here you go. How long will it take to earn the Enlightened reputation? This is what you need to earn to get your double legendary Memory of Unity cinch, right? This is the belt. Really important to understand this. So, the numbers below, consider that you are obtaining an average of 600 reputation per day within Zereth Mortis quests and rares. Completion of the bi-weekly quest Patterns Within Patterns will award... it says it awards 250 rep. It actually awards more now. I'll get to that in a minute. But they're assuming that you're doing dailies and the world quests. You're killing rares and you're doing the Patterns Within Patterns twice a week. And you're killing Antros, the world boss. Okay? So that's what they're expecting you to do. Reaching Honored with the Enlighten will take around 10 days. Honored with the Enlighten unlocks the recipe crafting stuff and the Tomb of the Eternal. This is for people who want to make the legendary base items and stuff that you're going to be crafting on, right? Reaching Revered will take around 25 days. Reaching Revered with the Enlighten unlocks the Memory of Unity, allowing you to craft your Covenant Legendary on all slots. This unlocks is account-wide. The 265 Covenant Legendary Belt is granted at the end of Chapter 7 in the 9.2 campaign and requires no reputation with the Enlightened. So, what they're basically saying here... Let me just click on this. So, okay, we're going to go to... That's fine. Here we go. So, what they're basically saying here is that you can unlock this Memory of Unity, and then you can craft your second Legendary onto any piece of gear that you want to. Okay? That's what this allows you to do. Now, that's not the belt. The Covenant Legendary Belt, the Cinch of Unity, is granted at the end of Chapter 7. And that requires no rep at all. You just have to do the story, which is great. But if you want to get to Revered and get the Memory of Unity thing right away, you can obviously get this Memory of Unity sort of quickly there, right? Which is great. But the Cinch of Unity is what you're going to want later, because then it's the belt, it gives you the secondary legendary effect, and you're good to go. But either way, you're going to need to get Revered, and it's going to take around 25 days, which... yeah, you have to get Revered either way, which that's fine. It basically just means, guys, that we're not going to have double legendaries for almost a month, and that's okay. They're just expecting you to obviously play the content. They want you to play in the new zone that they've created, Zereth Mortis, all that kind of stuff. Now, there are changes happening to the reputation gains in Zereth Mortis because they shifted some of the priority into the rare mobs that are in Zereth Mortis, making it so that you would have to kill more and more and more rare mobs in order to get the reputation gains that you're looking for. So let's read this article right here. They just released this like not 41 seconds ago. They released it like 20 minutes ago, basically. I just saw it. So let's read it together. So the concern from players was that if you're shifting the reputation gains into the rares, then it means that we have to go around and kill rares. We have to spend a bunch of time killing rares. And that's like not really fun. Like nobody really wants to do that. It's a grind now, right? So they're going to change it. This principle is a good one. People shouldn't feel like they need to play every day, and people shouldn't feel like when they play, the incentives don't steer people towards the fun. So yeah, we hear the community concerns. Everybody was basically outraged at them saying, well, we're going to push reputation into the rares. We hear the community concerns with overweighting rares. When rares constitute the lion's share of the total rep that you can get in a day, that can create a sense of obligation to pursue them all. Since there are so many, this turns the daily acquisition of rep into a time-consuming process rather than something that you can target and complete, or mostly complete in a reasonable play session. Sorry, my phone's going crazy. Let's turn it off over there. We want rares to feel like a bonus rather than an obligation, so the reputation earned from rares is being decreased from 15 or 30 rep to 10 to 15 rep each. Okay? This is really important. Let's keep reading. Along with that change, because we don't want to reduce the total incoming rep, we're increasing the reputation of other sources to compensate. World Quests will award 125 instead of 100. Antros, the World Boss, will award 500 instead of 250. The twice-weekly patterns within patterns will award 500 instead of 250. The net effect of this is that this will be a small increase in the total potential rep gain each day, and the rares will take up a much lower portion of those gains. This will allow players to feel like they can be done for the day earlier without significant long-term cost, while still allowing those players who want to push harder some incentive to do so. Players who feel the need to reach Revered by week 5 and get the legendary memory as soon as Chapter 7 ends should now be able to rest assured. Even without killing a single rare, it should be comfortably achievable to reach that level in the time frame. This is really, really cool. So what are they saying? They're saying that the acquisition of reputation in the new zone, the need to get reputation, to get Revered so that you can get the double legendary unlock going, is now going to take up the same amount of time that it took before, but instead of having to go farm all the rares to get the same rep, you just have to do the main content, and then you can go farm rares if you want to, but you don't have to. You'll still get to the double legendary acquisition point, basically at the same amount of time. So you need to go kill the world boss Antros. You need to do the world quests that are there. There's usually like 4 a day, maybe. You need to go do the patterns within patterns, which is like twice a week, I think. You can do it 2 times a week. And that's it. Right? World quests, world boss, twice weekly patterns within patterns. That's it. So you have to do the weekly twice. You have to do the dailies every day, the world quests that come up. And then you need to kill the world boss once a week. So is there a bit of a grind? Is there a bit of farming to do? Yeah, there is. But there was going to be anyway. Like, we're talking 25 days to Revered. So they're just giving you something to fill your time with. And that's fine. You can yell and scream about wanting it to be sooner, but that's off the table. That's not going to happen. So working with what we have, it's going to take a certain amount of time, and instead of it being a grind, having to run around and find rares, and then fight other players to, like, wait for the rare to respawn and, like, maybe you're just about to get to a rare and kill it, and like it gets killed by another guy who's of a friendly faction, but you just didn't get there in time to tag it. That was so annoying. Remember in Korthia, like early days in Korthia, there would be rares that you'd want to kill, and you'd have to like run around, and like they'd be spawning over here, and you have to run over there to the corpse heap to try and kill the bug, and you can see him flying down, and then everybody's killing him, and you're not quite there, and then right before you get there, he dies, and you don't get to kill the corpse heap. So like reputation being shifted to a grind of the rares is a bad idea, and they're moving away from that, which is really great. If you don't have a lot of time each week, you can just do the bare minimum stuff. Get the world quest done, which probably takes like 20 to 30 minutes max. Go kill Antros, which is like 5 minutes. And then the weekly patterns within patterns, while you're doing these other things, like killing Antros, doing the world quests, yada yada. And then this will take you a little bit longer, obviously, but this can be done like very quickly. Probably, you know, it might take you an hour or a couple hours to get the patterns of the patterns done. So like, honestly, guys, each week you might have to spend 3 or 4 hours doing all this stuff maximum to get all this stuff done. Like that would be my guess, in order to get the reputation you need to get the double legendary stuff unlocked. So there you go. That is their solution. They're listening to the community. The community feedback was overwhelmingly negative about shifting reputation into the rares. Blizzard is listening, and they've shifted it back to the big stuff, so that if you don't have time to play, you're not as far behind as you might otherwise be. Now, for the hardcore people like the World First guys, they can still grind the rares, and they'll probably end up doing it, and they will probably get the unlock on the double legendaries quicker than the rest of us. But that's okay. It's their job. Like, literally, it's their job to do it every day, so I'm assuming that they're going to be doing it. But for the rest of us, for the normal people, it's okay. You can just do it at the normal pace. You'll still get the unlock when you want to get it. So that's it, guys. That is all the news that has come out very, very recently. Of course, the most important news being that the release date is here, right? February, is it here? Is it here? I think it's here, right? Yeah, well, they summarized it all. But February 22nd is when 9.2 is releasing. That is in 12 days. Not in 2 weeks. It's actually in 12 days. So that's very, very exciting. It's here. It's finally here. We can start testing all the builds that we want to try out. We can get those double legendaries within a month or so. I think by the time you get your double legendaries in the 25-day requirement, you'll likely have your tier set if you're doing the raid. Like, that's 4 weeks, basically. 3 to 4 weeks of of doing the raid. And if you're able to like clear the entire raid on normal and then clear the whole raid on heroic, your chances of getting a tier set are like very high, in my opinion. So there's a very real scenario where within a month of 9.2 launching, on March 22nd, you will probably have your full tier set bonus and your double legendaries if you've been playing this game on a regular basis, like every day. So that's it, guys. That's all the news. It's so exciting. 9.2 is coming. I'm going to keep doing more videos in the 9.1.5 that we have right now, but this is so exciting to see. I'm glad that Blizzard is listening to the community. I'm glad that we're getting the release date when we expected to get it, and it seems like things are moving at a much quicker pace than they used to be. So everything's looking up. Thank you guys once again for watching. Thank you for all the likes and subscribes. We got past 500 subs. We kind of blew past 500 subs, which is amazing. Thank you so much. Let me know what you think of the new microphone, and we'll see you in the next one.